It's interesting why I don't like this. There we go. Devlog 2. RD Control 22 here, bringing you our 1 year in development of Splatty's Adventure inside of the Dreams engine. Hope you guys enjoy. Stay tuned. Give me a follow on Twitter. And yeah, drop a like and subscribe. Thanks. First time I tried sculpting, and as you can tell, I wasn't proficient at it. My Splatty kept falling apart and I couldn't figure out why for about a whole week. But, you know, sooner or later I started to figure out how to make the characters after messing with the blue puppet. Then I started to create my first scene, and I was really happy with it. Used a lot of graphics, but just getting my character moving around and double jumping was amazing. Sooner or later I got better at the logic because it was like Little Big Planet. I started moving forward with creating more versatile movements and a combat system, you know, looking at old games that I used to play and just trying to make Splatty feel right. I remember doing this making this wall jump, and it was perfect. It felt perfect, but when I saw other people play it, I knew it was broken, and eventually I had to fix it, and you guys might have played it while I was fixing it. But yeah, Splatty's going through a lot of iterations. Even his water mechanics was something that I saw Steve Big Guns make his little pug, Shadow the Pug, shiny, and I was like, I can do that, but then at the same time it didn't look right on Splatty, and so, you know, I had to start creating my own identity. Sooner or later the beta was going to end, and I needed to get a level out so people can notice me, so I started working on the conformity zone, which is a really good level in itself. I mean, beautiful design, perfect atmosphere, a little dark for some TVs, but it was just a beta and I didn't have that many, you know, weeks to really mess around with the game, so I had to put out my best artwork I can at that time. Closer to when the beta was ending, I added co-op. Surprisingly, nobody noticed there was a second Splatty, so this is probably the first footage you see of like couch co-op, and it was pretty fun. Moving on, I kept on making contraptions, kept proving to Splatty, you know, kept testing out his abilities, what he could do and what he couldn't do. And I knew exactly what I wanted to make in the future. And so I had to get all the logic planned for the future things. And he wound up costing 36% in gameplay. And yeah, it was, I ran into a lot of challenges. I ran into a lot of bugs. And I'm talking about big bugs where they could take me a week, maybe even a month to figure out, to get around, because, you know, you can't spend too much time on it. And it just felt like a never-ending losing battle trying to develop a game while developers were developing a game, and also, you know, they have stuff they don't want to release to us, and it made a challenge for me to make advancements, and sometimes the bugs were literally game breaking, and this specific bug was for a jam and I had no time, and I just had to release it with the jam, and yeah, it just felt like a losing battle. And along my path I started to run into some people on Twitter and my family that supported me, and I started to build a team. Got me a concept artist, got me a game tester, and my brother started helping me, and everybody started pitching in. My wife started voice acting, and sooner or later this path didn't seem lonely. It seemed full of life and energy, and when you realize that you're not alone and you can create however you want and how freely you want, I started to take this project 125% serious, and I reached that happy zone and started working on the menu, making sure I could have something to show people that it's going to be a full game. You need a menu, you need settings, you need the achievements, and being able to have all these features was something that I knew I needed to put in. Soon after that, I started getting our game tester to start testing his movement, pushing Splatty to the limit. What can you do with the wall run? What can you do with the slide? How far can you jump and dash? You know, what happens when you fall off the map if I take off, fall out of scene. And then after we tested so much, we started moving on to design and learning different ways to design and improving our design, you know, whether it's bad sculpting, bad scale, and figuring out, okay, this scale is way too large for Splatty and this scale was too small for Splatty. This level looks great, but it has too many flex. How can we keep the character running smooth at 36% gameplay? What's the tone that we want to give the player? Because tone is very important. The feel of a level, the mood. That was all important to us, and we eventually started to piece together what made a level feel good and what made a level feel dead. And then that's when we knew we had a perfect formula, and I started to design my levels. And I started to, as the lead designer, I started to draw it up and realize that even with me just designing a level, everybody on our team should design a level and get a piece of their level inside the game and help give me ideas and help me improve. And that's what I wanted our game to be about, is having fun and that freedom to play the game how you want to play. And the first time I had to figure out, man, how can I introduce these moves to players? It was challenging because Splatty has a lot of movesets, and it's going to be a tough task. But I think once everybody really starts playing with Splatty, they'll get to enjoy what he can do. And you know, our main goal isn't to beat up the player. Our main goal is to make sure the player is having fun along the way and feeling that sense of accomplishment as they're playing our game in development from the get-go, and we're being open about it. That's definitely something I wish a lot of developers will continue to do, is be open about the development process. Because 1 year ago from today really is when I had this little clay puppet that couldn't move, couldn't do anything but fall apart. And then, you know, 377 days later, I'm able to make him run and jump and animate with sound and move freely. And yeah, that's the story of our 1 year in development with Splatty's Adventure, and we're going to continue this game until it's finished.